Two thrillers already in the books here in Charlotte. In our first game, Duke's Michael Rothenberg, a walk-off homer. They take down the Miami Hurricanes, not to be outdone. It took 12 innings in the second game. Georgia Tech defeats Louisville. What a day we've had already. Good golly, Miss Molly. What can we expect next? Thursday evening baseball in beautiful uptown Charlotte. The 2021 ACC Baseball Championship coming your way live from Truist Field. And tonight we have got a real David versus Goliath matchup. The vaunted 16th ranked red-hot NC State Wolfpack going to take on the upstart Pitt Panthers. Let's take a look at how Pool C looks like right now. Let's boil it down for you. The winner of this game, NC State and Pitt, will advance to Saturday's semifinal round where Georgia Tech awaits. That is what is on the line. Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us with my partner, Peter Moylan, longtime big leaguer. I am Eric Collins. And, Peter, it's kind of hard to believe this is now game 9 of this championship. And this is the first time we've got a chance to see NC State, who could be the hottest team in the ACC right now.
They tell me they're the best hitting team in the ACC, led by the best hitter in the ACC. We've got to go with Johnny Butler, one of 7 Wolfpack players to earn all ACC honors. Butler, a first-team selection, batted .406 with 63 hits, 41 RBIs, and if he gets on base, he's a real threat to steal with 14 for 14 in stolen bases this year.
Yeah, the numbers back up what you said about them being the best hitting team. They can absolutely mash. They're frisky. They like to run. 292 team batting average, 74 home runs so far on the campaign for NC State. Let's take a look at the lineup card for the Wolfpack. Austin Murr starts things up, first baseman, junior, coming in from Minnesota. Tyler McDonough, pro prospect out in center field, 2-time second team All-ACC. We talked about Butler. Terrell Tatum having a wonderful year with that power bat right in the middle of the lineup. Torres, Tresh, Devontae Brown, Menchik, and JT Jarrett. That is your 9 for the NC State Wolfpack that will get their hacks against Matt Gilbertson. 6 up and 4 down, now making start number 13 on the year.
Yeah, 4.62 ERA this year, 62 punch-outs. 86 hits, it's a little bit too much in 76 innings, but he's going to look to limit those hits today, I would imagine.
Now let's talk about the umpires. There's 4 of them here in ACC tournament play. Adam Dowdy calling the balls and strikes. Barry Chambers down the first base line. Our guy, Linus Baker, is the second base umpire, and Greg Street down the third base line. All right, Pitt doesn't have history on their side when they take on NC State. They have just 1 win in program history against the Wolfpack. NC State is 12 up and 1 down against Pitt all time, including a 3-game series sweep in Pittsburgh earlier this season. But you never know. Winner of this game advances to the semifinal round. We one of 4 teams remaining come Saturday. That is what is on the line. Already, we know that Duke and Georgia Tech, 2 semifinalists.
Big crowd. Look at this. This feels right, Eric.
Must be odd for NC State and their fans to have such a marvelous second half of the season, to be so excited about your club, and then to have to wait through 8 full games before they finally get a chance to play here on this wonderful field. Well, they're here and they're in the moment. First pitch of the ball game. Austin Murr takes called strike 1. Murr from Denmark Township, Minnesota. Right along the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. Hard against the Mississippi River. Junior had a magnificent year. 316 with power. And that one will sneak past David Yanni. Seeing eye base hit for Murr. And NC State, they've got their hitting shoes on early.
I like the aggressiveness. Got a pitch you could handle. Straight back up the middle. Leadoff guy on.
NC State, they average a little over a steal per ball game. They have 62 steals so far on the campaign. 62 steals in 43 games. Here's Tyler McDonough. He can handle the bat, but you're probably not going to ask him to play small ball when he's got 13 homers on the year. He can jump the yard. First pitch misses high and outside. Sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio. Those 13 home runs. High watermark. But he's got company. There are 4 Wolfpack hitters who have double-digit homers.
I think I said in the first game there doesn't seem to be a fastball count in the game anymore. And you see right there, 1-0 breaking ball, 6 pitches into the game.
Looking at that NC State batting order, the top 5 players in the order, either first team or second team, all ACC. Slow start to begin the year, but then they caught fire, and they have been hotter than a pepper sprout over the last 2.5 months. 19 and 14 in ACC play, the 3rd best mark in the conference this year. Runner bluffs from first, little chopper right side, and I don't know what happened there with Murray. Got a slow start, and he's forced out at second base.
I think he faked the steal, stopped, and then had to get going again. Also can't get hit by the baseball, otherwise he's automatically out.
Okay, stops right here.
Yeah, stop to avoid getting hit by the baseball.
All right, so there's the game's first out, and it comes on a force out at second. McDonough replaces Murr at first base. And here is big bad Johnny Butler. First team All-ACC. Junior college transfer. Enjoying life in Raleigh, putting up marvelous numbers. A batting average over 400, leading the way for this ACC team. NC State team that has won 8-2 in their last 10 games. Team batting average of 292, tops in the conference. After starting 1-8 in ACC play. What a turnaround.
There's a lot of pop up and down this lineup.
McDonough more of a threat to run than Murr was in front of him. McDonough has 12 steals on the year. Mentioned that there are 4 Wolfpack hitters with double-digit homers. There are 3 Wolfpack base runners with double-digit steals. A lot of different ways to hurt you.
Strange to see it being the 2-3-4 guy there.
Yeah, but those are the high on base average guys, and I guess they're on base a lot, and why not?
Normally not the biggest speedsters you're ever going to see.
Yeah, normally. It's 2021.
Game's changing.
Oh, 0-2 pitch sails high and wide. We got 2 of the top hitters in the ACC in our ball game. Butler leading the way, the only hitter above 400. Sky Duff, 365. He'll be the leadoff batter for Pitt. There he is, third baseman. Ball and 2 strikes. Matt Gilbertson getting the ball in this very important game for the Pitt Panthers. 2-2.
Yeah, this is by far the loudest crowd we've had so far in the games we've done, especially.
Pitt played 1 game. That was back on day 1, Tuesday evening. Pitt beat UNC, a bit of a surprise. Well-played game. 5-3 the final score. That's why this game is for the whole ball of wax. The winner of this game, even though it's NC State's first game of the baseball championship, the winner of this one immediately punches their ticket to the semifinal round and will take on Georgia Tech as the winner of Pool C.
If you missed the end of that game, you missed an absolute treat.
Wow. 12 innings. Throw to first base, and it looked like McDonough was leaning.
Yeah, 3-2 count. I'd say he's going to be running anyway.
Butler doesn't have a whole lot of swing and miss in his game. Just 31 strikeouts and 144 at bats.
You run the risk of a quality hitter like Butler. Makes a lot of good contact, hard contact. You run the risk of that line drive, straight up position play, instantly getting a double play. You're also avoiding the double play by getting the runner moving.
There goes McDonough. And we'll do it again. Yeah, modern day baseball. I think all the smart people will tell you, truly, the worst thing that you can do is hit into a double play. Well, I guess the worst thing would be hitting to a triple play. But with a runner on at first base, the worst thing that Butler can do here is hit into a double play. That's why you send the runner when in doubt. Stay out of the double play. A strikeout is not the worst thing in the world. It's just 1 out. Double play, 2 outs, clearly. And the pitch misses down low. That's a quality at bat for Johnny Butler. So 2 aboard, just 1 out. And the Wolfpack threatening in the first inning.
This speaks to just the quality hitter that Johnny Butler is. Big game, big moment. Doesn't run too much. Takes his walk.
All right, here comes some more thunder. Terrell Tatum, Jr., Collierville, Tennessee. It's out of Memphis. 326 batter with 11 homers.
Big hole left side.
Tatum takes outside. The catcher Riley Wash trying to frame it. I'm impressed. You would think that NC State, such a good hitting team, so hot as a club, after not having played and watching everyone else play, you'd think that they'd be antsy and wanted to swing at the first pitch and be over aggressive, but the first 4 hitters have been patient. Maybe too patient. Took a good pitch. 1-1.
It's always nice to score in the first inning, first couple of innings, get the momentum. Hopefully hold it for the majority of the game.
2-1. So a good hitter's count. Tatum hasn't taken the bat off the shoulder yet. Down around the knees, 2-2. Can't get over how patient Tatum is.
Yeah.
Guys hitting in the 4 spot. Big RBI opportunity here in the first inning. And he's taken all 4 pitches so far. First inning opportunity for the Wolfpack. Swings at that pitch, double play ball. To second for 1, on to first. Did he stay on the bag? He did! Nice stretch by Bryce Hewlett, and the twin kill ends the top of the first inning. Matt Gilbertson walks the tightrope, but he doesn't fall. Double play ball ends the top of the first inning. NC State scoreless. Pitt heading to the bat rack. Welcome back, everyone. Scoreless top of the first inning for NC State. They threaten but cannot score. Pitt Panthers 1 game under their belts. That was Tuesday against North Carolina. Big blow in that game was a late inning homer by Ron Washington Jr., a 2-run shot. That was the margin of victory. Pitt won by a final 5-3. And that's why this game is oh so important for the Panthers against NC State. Let's take a look at head coach Mike Bell's lineup card. Sky Duff, team high, 363 batting average. Nico Popa in the 2 spot. Kyle Hess, told you about Washington. He hits cleanup. David Yanni, now in his 6th year with the Panthers. Bryce Hewlett, Riley Wash, Brock Franks, and Jordan Anderson picking up the rear. On the bump for NC State, good-looking Reed Johnston, third-team All-ACC.
Also making his 13th appearance. 6-2 on the year with a 4.4 ERA. Best of the Wolfpack staff. 69 punch-outs in 71 and 2/3 innings. So look for a strikeout per inning at least. Opponent average, they're only hitting 233 off him.
Comes out of Central Casting. 6'3", 218 pounds. The junior from Enfield, North Carolina. That is the other part of the state, eastern part of North Carolina. All right, leading things off for the Pitt Panthers, the 10 seed, Sky Duff, sophomore from New Jersey. Third-team All-ACC. Duff in his first game, that was back on Tuesday against North Carolina, went 1 for 4. Aggressively swings at the first pitch and flips it foul.
I've noticed that. I've noticed that in almost every single game they've swung first pitch. Both teams. I love it. Get this thing rolling. I love it. As I said to you before, that could be the best pitch you see all at bat. Pitcher's just trying to establish himself.
Now, because of the length of the game before us, Georgia Tech and Louisville, this game starting over 2 hours later than we thought it was going to start. It's supposed to start around 7 o'clock local time, but it's now after 9 here in Charlotte. Into right center field, sinking. It gets down. Leadoff base hit for Sky Duff. So just like NC State, the leadoff man aboard here in the first inning.
Didn't get all of it, but did a nice job fighting it off and landing it right in front of the center fielder. Nice swing. Great, perfect leadoff job. He's not going to run, though, as we talked about last game. 2 for 4 in stolen bases.
Here's Nico Popa, one of 2 Popas on the roster. He's got a brother, Dom. He takes first pitch fastball, strike 1. Popa, just like Sky Duff in front of him, third-team All-ACC. Pittsburgh native. Man, came out of his shoes. Gilbertson can bring it up there. Gilbertson from Henderson, Nevada. His hometown is Greg Maddox.
I wonder if that's like when someone finds out I'm from Australia that they ask me, well, do you instantly, do you know him? Yes, because there's only 7 people in Australia.
Reed Johnston strikes out Popa on 3 pitches. So Popa is out number 1 here at the bottom of the first inning.
Just went with straight gas. Up in the zone, which we talked about before also. There's one of those favorite pitches now. Is my whole career I was taught to hit the knees, hit the knees, hit the knees. Now that's a bad spot.
Got to rethink baseball. First ball swinging, and this is Kyle Hess, routine to left field. And one left fielder retires the other. Squeeze made by Johnny Butler. 2 down. All right, here comes trouble. Ron Washington, we saw the power he has. Hit a homer deep into the night on Tuesday against North Carolina. He's got 8 homers on the season. Pitt scored 5 runs on Tuesday. Washington drove in 3 of them. There goes the runner from first. A little bit of surprise. And Duff is safe. All right, so runner in scoring position with 2 outs for the Panthers.
I like that move. If you happen to get thrown out, you still got your big bopper leading off next inning. So try and get yourself in scoring position. Now he's got a chance to drive you in.
Also sends a message to your team, right? In first inning, hey, let's make sure we're awake. Let's try and get an early lead. Got a lot on the line. Hard riding fastball, 0-2 to Washington. Looks like Reed Johnston's got his good stuff here early in the ballgame. Fouled in and out of the glove of the catcher, Luka Tresh, and we'll do it again.
A lot of fastballs early.
NC State defeated Pittsburgh in a 3-game series in Pittsburgh not that long ago. May 14th, 15th, and 16th. Just a week and a half ago, these two clubs playing in Pittsburgh. Hard down the left field line. That'll get down. That'll score the game's first run on an 0-2 pitch. Ron Washington Jr. drives in Sky Duff, and it's a 1-0 lead for Pitt.
Went to the well too many times, tried to throw a fastball down and away. Ended up missing right middle in. Ron Washington Jr. was able to pull his hands in and absolutely hammer it down the left field line.
So the stolen base by Sky Duff pays immediate dividends. Not sure he scores from first base. He scores from second. Here's David Yanni. Breaking ball. Ball one to Yanni. 6th different season that Yanni has played games for the Pitt Panthers.
Think he's fired up today. Back-to-back off-speed pitches.
A lot of respect for Yanni. Went hitless on Tuesday against North Carolina. Did reach with a walk. Yanni, 3rd-team All-ACC, 12 homers. Got to be careful with him. Here's a strike 2-1.
Another breaking ball. 3 straight off-speed pitches. After being very aggressive with the fastball. Does have a base open, but I'm not sure this is the kind of first inning you're not looking to put guys on base.
Yeah, you got a left-handed batter in Bryce Hewlett in the on-deck circle. It's not like that's going to be any easier.
This pitch will tell me a lot.
What does it tell you?
It tells me that they're going to go straight after him, yeah. If that had been another off-speed pitch, maybe they were trying to pitch around and trying to get him to hit their pitch. But that just shows me that they're still going to come straight at him.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Already a run aboard. A run in for Pitt. 2-out double by Ron Washington, scoring Sky Duff. And they fake the throw to second.
Saw that work in the last game. First time I've seen that work in a long time. Inside move.
You spent 13 years in the big leagues. How many times you picked someone off second base?
Inside move like that? None. 0.
Oh, got him. Yanni thought it was inside. It was not. Called strike 3, and the inning is over. But the Pitt Panthers, they get first blood. They score on a double by Ron Washington. They lead NC State 1-0. On Charlotte, North Carolina over the last couple of days. Just gorgeous weather. It's going to be a perfect night. I'm expecting fantastic weather throughout the course of the weekend as the 2021 ACC Baseball Championship plays out. After not having a tournament last year because of COVID issues, it has been splendid weather here in Charlotte for this affair. Matt Gilbertson back on the bump. He'll take on Jose Torres to lead things off here in the second inning. Torres, Luka Tresh, Devontae Brown will bat against Gilbertson here in the second.
What a fantastic venue these kids get to play in. This is the staff here. You're not going to find better minor league staff across the U.S.
First pitch of our second inning is a fastball, strike 1.
I probably get a few emails now saying we will.
This ballpark does routinely get voted as having the best skyline in all of minor league baseball. It's the home of the AAA Charlotte Knights, AAA affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. Look at that. That is not downtown Charlotte.
Oh, here we go.
That's uptown Charlotte, as the locals would prefer you call it.
But we are 42. I'm 42, so I'm allowed to call it downtown.
There's an age difference. The older set still calls it downtown, but the younger set would like it to be called uptown. 0-2, lifted foul and out of play. All right, Jose Torres is a wonderful talent. Torres, just a freshman. Actually, he is what they're calling a COVID freshman that played last year. But with that season cut down, everyone just keeping with the same eligibility. So he's still considered a freshman. First team all ACC as a shortstop. Super young player who can do it with a glove and with a bat.
Fast.
Softly to the second baseman. Yanni didn't panic. And Yanni throws out Torres. Out number 1 in the second inning. All right, next in line for NC State, Luca Tresh. Sophomore catcher from Safeway Harbor, Florida. He can hurt you. 11 homers.
Infield playing straight up. Might be the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, this is like 1978. Before scouting reports. Entire infield is where they're supposed to be back in the day, and the outfield is all straight away, left, center, and right. Look at that. That's an old school defensive alignment. Before spray charts were a thing.
Oh, yeah. Spray charts or computers.
1 ball and 1 strike. Breaking ball, 1-2.
I was actually in spring training with the Astros in 2014 when we were sat down in spring training and they said, listen guys, we're going to do things a little differently this year. We're going to be shifting around the place. We're going to be moving all over the place. We have computer evidence. We want to try this, and you just have to accept it. And a lot of the guys did. They accepted it, and it's become normal.
You first got to the big leagues in what year? 2006. Okay, and that was just not a thing at all.
Well, you'd have the Adam Dunns, the big boppers that you'd maybe move the second baseman a little bit into right field, but there was definitely not the shifts that they have now.
High pop, shallow center field. Anderson covers a lot of ground, makes the play. Just curious, 13 years at the big league level for you, Peter Moylan. Has there ever been any instance of you hearing a pitcher saying, you know what, I don't like what the analytics are saying. I would like to not have the shift on right here. I just can't pitch to that shift. I'd like it to just be standard issue defense.
It's usually after the fact.
Okay.
If something, so my whole philosophy was, if I make my pitch and a guy makes a great swing and hits a line drive and it's hit hard to where a position player may not have been or is standing, and he cuts off an absolute missile, I'm going to be really happy. But if I make my pitch and he hits it weakly to a spot where the normal position would have been and it's a base hit, I carry that for a lot longer than I would the line drive that gets stopped. So again, I've heard Joe Madden talk about, if you don't want to shift, you need to tell me before you make the pitch. Don't come in the dugout afterwards and complain about it.
So if you went to Joe Madden and said, I don't want that shift behind me,
he would back you 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think most coaches would.
Devontae Brown down in the count, 1-2.
The last thing the coach or the manager wants is a pitcher out there in the middle of the mound thinking about something other than throwing a pitch to the hitter that they're facing. So in your mind, you're thinking, I wish that guy was on the other side of second base. You're not able to effectively make your pitches. Reach back for a little bit more there. 91, nice.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Brown. Brown hitting in the 7th spot in the order with 9 homers and 32 runs batted in. Choking up at 2 strikes. Lays off, and the count's full. And we'll do it again. You know, those games that Pittsburgh lost at their home ballpark against NC State, for the most part, they were close. The first 2, 3-2 they lost. Game 2, they lost 9-7. It wasn't until the final game on a Sunday they lost 10-3. But over the years, not much success at all against the Wolfpack. It is 1-12 all time against NC State. Oh, wow. Wonderful eye by Devontae Brown. I think to a man, everyone on Pitt thought that was strike 3.
I think they were hoping a little bit more than that's.
Okay, you're right. Gilbertson was pumping the fist.
He was walking it off.
2-out base runner for NC State. Second walk allowed by Gilbertson. And here is Wojta Menchik. He has the distinction of not going to high school here in the States. He is a native of the Czech Republic. Actually played for the Czech Republic national team and was discovered playing for the Czech Republic national team. He was recruited out of there, and he's been an absolute find in his first couple of years playing for the Wolfpack.
I tell you, that's a junior program in a country that's they've really dived into junior baseball and the development of baseball in that country. I went and played there a couple of years ago when I was running away from retirement and had an opportunity to go pitch for a team in the Czech Republic. They're just passionate about the game.
And it's not like an American influence where there's a bunch of former Americans who are living over there and say, hey, let's play baseball. It's just they've discovered the sport and want to play it.
Organically discovered the sport, loved it. And as I said, they play it a little bit differently. They play a little old school with the bunts and the hit and runs and getting people moving. But it's just like the Australian League, essentially, where you have a bunch of guys that have regular jobs during the day. My shortstop was a fireman. One of the starting pitchers was actually a gynecologist.
Oh, goodness. All right.
So we're talking about guys that actually go out and work regular jobs and just play the game because they still love it and they've got a passion for it. And half of those guys will then get 2 weeks vacation to go pitch on the national team. And so, yeah, it's a really fun spot. Baseball
in the Czech Republic. Well, now Wojta Menchik getting an opportunity to play in the ACC, and it's clearly not too big for him. 250 batting average on the year with 4 homers, 21 runs batted in. They really like him defensively over at third base. Trying to keep the inning going. Runner on at first base, Devontae Brown. 3 balls and a strike to Menchik. Count goes full. Second straight batter that's had a full count against Gilbertson.
Menchik's actually from the city that I played for in the Czech Republic, from Brno.
Spell it?
B-R-N-O.
B-R-N-O.
It's about 2.5 hours outside of Prague. It's got the look of Prague on about a 3% scale.
3-2 pitch. There goes the runner. And Menchik did not go. He checks his swing, and it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks for NC State with 2 outs.
He didn't go.
So 2 consecutive 2-out walks to the 7 and 8 hitters. And the inning remains alive. And now Gilbertson will have to take on JT Jarrett with 2 runners aboard.
With so much riding on this game, I would be surprised if we don't see a lot of bullpen activity. A lot of guys warming up, a lot of guys getting down. Potential matchups. If we get to this guy, you're in. If we don't, sit down. It's just going to be a grind for these guys today.
And we know this for a fact. The winner of this game will advance to Saturday's semifinal round. We know who they'll play. They'll play Georgia Tech. That'll be in the second semifinal. Kind of odd to think that NC State, who has not played here through the first 2.5 days, this is their first action here in the ACC Baseball Championship, but their experience is on the line. They need to win to advance to the semis. They don't have a safety net. Here's JT Jarrett. 2 runners aboard. Strike one call. Jarrett, the son of Link Jarrett, head coach at Notre Dame. He's from Greensboro, North Carolina. Of course, Link Jarrett, coach of the year this year in the ACC. Notre Dame had a phenomenal year.
So yeah, that could lead to some more good car rides, couldn't it?
You're right. Oh, and 1 to Jarrett. Gilbertson's gotten himself into a little bit of trouble here. Back-to-back walks. Down the left field line. It's trouble. It is fair. Extra bases. 1 run will score. 2 will score. Look at Jarrett go. It's a triple.
Look at the smile on his face.
2-run triple for JT Jarrett.
Good for you. That's great. Got his pitch. Again, another one straight down the left field line. Devontae Brown was flying around the base paths.
Well, this inning started with back-to-back outs, the ground out and the fly out. But then Brown worked a full count walk. Then Menchik worked a full count walk. And then the number 9 hitter, JT Jarrett, a 2-run, 2-out triple. That's a sharp stick to the eye if you're a Panther fan. All right, back to the top of the order. Austin Murr just handed a note. How about this? That's the first career triple for JT Jarrett, who's a junior.
It's amazing. We've seen a lot of that. There's a couple of guys hit their first home run in this tournament for the year. Messenger hit 2 in 1 game.
Rising to the occasion. Murr singled his first time up. NC State threatened in the first inning, but a double play kind of stopped them in their tracks. But now breaking through in the second. They lead 2-1.
That's a good pitch by Gilbertson there. He needed to get back in the count. Last thing you want to do is go 3-1. He must be frustrated with himself a little bit, getting 2 quick outs in this inning and then walking back-to-back guys. And 2 runs both scored.
He thought he had Devontae Brown struck out.
Just can't take your foot off the gas.
Oh, no! Here comes Jarrett, and he scores without a throw. The 3rd run of the inning for NC State.
Looked like a breaking ball that just got away.
How about the bottom part of this lineup for NC State? Scrappy bunch. Brown, Menchik, and Jarrett all come around to score with 2 outs in the frame. That's bonus. Pennies from heaven. (3-2) on the ground. Franks can't make the play. Rob Franks can't make the play, and the inning continues. It's gone from bad to worse for the Pitt Panthers.
Just need a little regroup, that's all. Tough hop, tough play. Running in full speed. trying to get it in between hops. Took a little bit of a high bounce, got him off the heel.
They scored as an error.
Tough one
on Brock Franks. Now the 7th man to bat in the inning, Tyler McDonough.
Franks played such a good defensive game last time we saw Pitt.
McDonough, first time up, bounced into a fielder's choice. 341 batter, 13 homers. Just earlier this week, named second team All ACC for the 2nd time in his career. Switch hitter.
How many teams do they choose every year? 3 teams?
3 teams. Yep. And the quality of baseball in the ACC, if you're 3rd team All ACC, you're a stud.
Yeah. I'm seeing that. First team.
Nice pick. Riley Wash backhanded it.
I'd say if he doesn't get Tyler McDonough here, we may see some action down in that bullpen.
2-2. Hit hard into right field. That'll be a base hit. Merv trying to get over to 3rd, and he'll make it without a throw. Inning continues for NC State. They've got runners at the corners.
Good aggressive base running by Merv there too. Ball was hit pretty hard, but he made thinking third base the whole way. Didn't even give it another thought. Great turn, head down, hop up slide, and there's some action in the bullpen.
Inning began innocently enough. A ground out by Torres, a pop out by Tresh, but then back-to-back walks, the triple by Jarrett, the error committed by Franks, and now the single by McDonough. We're on the 8th batter of the inning for NC State. It's Johnny Butler. Butler hitting over 400 during the regular year. Good call.
It's a season, I think.
Butler, first team All ACC. Really, the only thing that slowed down Butler all year long is he missed a little bit of time. He was dealing with COVID protocol issues, and so had to miss some time.
He wasn't alone there.
Oh, and 2. All right, now we'll get a chance to see what Butler's all about. Gonna have to fight. 2 men on. 2 outs. Already 3 runs have scored for the Wolfpack.
Butler's
Again blocked by Wash.
31 strikeouts on the year, so he doesn't strike out a ton. Surprising for someone with that kind of pop. Obviously a patient hitter.
Yeah, Butler on the year with 24 extra base hits. 31 strikeouts, 24 extra base hits. You'll take that. High pop out of play.
In Gilbertson's last start, he went 3 innings, 3.1 innings, 10 hits and 8 earned runs. So he'd be looking to stop the bleeding right here.
Butler, the 8th man to hit in the inning. Hard to get anything past him. First game of this championship for NC State. They are the 3 seed. You got got Notre Dame, the 1 seed, Georgia Tech, the 2 seed, and then NC State, which is a bit of a stunner considering how they started the year. Make the argument they're the hottest team in the ACC at the end of the year. On the ground sharply, but right to Yanni. David Yanni throws out Butler, and the inning is over, but major damage done. 2-run scoring on this triple by J.T. Jarrett. Jarrett would eventually score on a wild pitch. NC State leads by a score of 3-1. Two fantastic games here on this field earlier today. Duke, a walk-off winner. Their catcher, Michael Rothenberg, who's had a wonderful championship. He hit a walk-off homer. 2 for 4 day for him. 3 runs batted in. And Duke punches their ticket into the semifinal round. They take down Miami. Not to be outdone, a 12-inning affair. Georgia Tech winning it in walk-off fashion as well. This is Andrew Jenkins with a double. That would score Justin Henry Malloy. And Georgia Tech is now assured of moving into the semifinal round on Saturday. Pool play, you got 4 different pools, A, B, C, and D. You got to win your pool to advance to the semis. We already have your winner in Pool B and your winner in Pool D. And we're waiting after tonight. The winner of Pool C, who will it be? Will it be NC State or will it be Penn? So far, so good for NC State. They lead 3-1 as we play the bottom of the 2nd inning.
It's so good just seeing the raw emotions from these guys. You know, the last 12 months have been tough on everybody, and getting a chance to play, getting a chance to play in a tournament again with the guys you've gone to battle with for the last couple of years.
I love it that you're from Australia, but you say tournament like someone from New Jersey.
Do I?
Yeah, it's tournament.
Tournament. We could do the whole show, just you correcting me if you like.
Hey, all the people in New Jersey are saying you're perfectly right.
I have a great time in Boston when I go to the bar in my car.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Bryce Hewlett. Junior first baseman. Trying to get some mojo back for the Pitt Panthers. Into left field. Catch is made by Butler.
Good piece of hitting, back to a breaking ball. Stayed back on it nicely. Got a nice bit of, what do you say, nice bit of aluminum on it?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's another one you can correct me on. We call it aluminium in Australia.
Love that word, aluminium. I say it with my kids and they think I'm nuts. Schedule, you say it that way?
I say schedule.
Okay.
Schedule if you're
everywhere else in the world.
I'm a hybrid at the moment, I think.
First ball swinging, Riley Wash tries out Jose Torres. There's usually nothing there. Torres is fantastic. Sucks everything up, and they're quickly 2 outs.
Smooth transition. Interestingly, got the arm angle right up high. A lot of those guys will go from a bit of a 3/4 arm angle and flick it over there, but he got his arm right up over the top and made a perfect throw.
NC State's had some pretty good luck over the last decade with shortstops. How about Trey Turner?
You said earlier, late bloomer. The guy continues to bloom. It's insane. He's one of the better players, top 10 player in the league. And not your prototypical power shortstop, but still hits.
Yeah.
With enough pop.
How about Carlos Rodon? NC State Wolfpack lefty. Threw a no-hitter earlier this year for the White Sox.
So happy for him after everything that he's been through. I understand he almost walked away from the game. That's how frustrated he got with baseball. So to have it turn around on a dime like that, so happy for those guys.
Brock Frank's batting, 1-2 pitch. Takes down low.
Sounds funny that you talk about a Major League Baseball player who's had some success but is grinding. But you know, the frustration of not the continued success not coming, the expected success that a team has for you.
On the ground, right side. A little bit of a bobble for J.T. Jarrett, but no worries there. Nice, solid inning for Reed Johnston. Gets fit to go 1-2-3. Top of the third inning, Truist Field, Charlotte, North Carolina. NC State making the pilgrimage over from Raleigh, and they lead by a score of 3-1 on the Pitt Panthers. Elliott Avents, man, 25 years, 917 wins, 112 players selected in the Major League Baseball draft. Producing players. We talked about Trey Turner, Carlos Rodon.
I actually got to meet Joey Devine. Joey Devine signed straight out of NC State and went straight to the playoffs that year.
Reliever. Yeah. He was packaged and ready to go.
Funny story. He actually, not funny for him, but funny for me. He was the guy that I got called up for. He got injured while they were in a West Coast road trip, and I got my first ever call up because Joey Devine got hurt.
Is that right?
That is right.
Wow, serendipity.
And he still speaks to me, funnily enough.
Terrell Tatum leads things off for NC State. Batting against Matt Gilbertson. Tatum, his first time up, hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Wolfpack thought they had something going on in that first inning, but it quickly came to an end when Tatum hit into the twin kill. On the ground hard, sucked up by Hewlett. Hewlett with the backhand wins the race to the bag. One down. All right, next in line for NC State is their freshman shortstop, Jose Torres. We talked about Trey Turner a lot over the last inning. One of the reasons why Jose Torres is in the lineup today and playing for NC State is because of Trey Turner. Torres had options coming out of high school. He's born in the Dominican, but he was raised in Baltimore, Maryland, and turned into an elite prospect. He was drafted 24th round by Milwaukee in 2019, was really thinking about signing. And Trey Turner reached out and called him and said, you know what? I was drafted out of high school, and I said no to pro ball. I chose to try and improve myself at NC State. It worked out great for me 3 years later. I'm a first-round pick. Going to NC State will never be a bad idea. And Jose Torres said, you know what? All right. It's good enough for Trey Turner. It's good enough for me. And so he committed to play at least 3 years at NC State. And so far, he has been everything that the Wolfpack could have hoped for, earning first-team All-ACC honors this spring.
It's a nice little recruitment ace in the hole.
Yeah. Two balls and two strikes to Torres. We talked about his actions defensively, how low he gets, how smooth he is, his arm angle. Guy can hit. 309, 6 homers, 33 runs batted in. They bat him in the 5-hole. Chased. 2 outs here in the third inning. That's the first strikeout for Gilbertson.
Now he needs to learn from last inning and put the pedal down again and make sure you don't let up. Get this third out. Give the offense a chance to get back in and swing the bats.
Here's Luca Tresh. I'm sure there's some baseball historians out here who are watching and saying, Tresh, that name sounds familiar. There was a player, won a World Series for the Yankees back in the 1960s, Tommy Tresh, who was part of those teams with Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. That is indeed a relative of Luca Tresh. That's a cousin. Tom Tresh has passed away, died back in 2008, the age of 70, but he was a wonderful player. 3-time All-Star Rookie of the Year, won a Gold Glove. Tom Tresh, cousin of Luca Tresh. That's one of the great things about baseball that you don't get nearly as often in basketball and in football is
the father-son
generational, the generational stories that you can weave throughout the years.
Has there ever been a story like the Griffeys where your father-son play on the same field?
Same team? No. That's still the only father and son in Major League Baseball history.
Incredible.
Wow. Nice inning for Matt Gilbertson. After giving up 3 runs in the second, he gets a 1-2-3 third. 3-1 is our score as we play the home half of the third inning. NC State on top of Pitt. Winner of this one advances to the semifinal round on Saturday. We have 3 more games in our pool play coming your way tomorrow. We'll start at 11 o'clock in the morning. You got Virginia against the #1 seed, Notre Dame. Then you got Florida State and Miami. Good rivalry game whenever they get together. That's at 3 o'clock. And then the final game, pool play, will be a 7 o'clock start. It will be NC, North Carolina, the Tar Heels taking on NC State. And really nothing needs to be said about that rivalry. So 3 games for the 4th straight day. It'll be whittled down to just 2 games on Saturday. Both those games will be semifinal games. And then 1 game on Sunday for the whole kit and caboodle. The championship will be played at noon Eastern time from this field on Sunday.
Eric, I got to tell you, there is nothing better than a ballpark hot dog.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
For those at home listening, I'm sorry if you're hearing me chewing, but I could not help myself.
On the ground, foul by Jordan Anderson. I think I'm going to have to out you, too. Did I see you put ketchup on that hot dog?
And mustard.
Is that an Australian thing?
I think it's a worldwide thing, isn't it?
No. Ketchup does not belong on a hot dog.
Excuse me.
How could you be a 13-year big leaguer and not know that ketchup doesn't belong on a hot dog?
You've spent as much time at Dodger Stadium as I have, and there are 3 options every time you go to get the hot dog. There's relish, ketchup, mustard.
That's for your fries if you happen to get some fries. You put that on top of, ketchup on top of the fries. Never on a hot dog. You can drag it through the garden. They do in Chicago. You can put peppers on there.
Yeah, but that isn't
pickles and
celery,
salt, whatever.
You're having a hot dog.
No ketchup on a hot dog.
All right, I'll fight you until we're doing all 3 games tomorrow.
You're from Australia. You can put some Vegemite on it if you want. Just no ketchup. Anderson gets it in play. Fly ball right side, and the catch is made by Devontae Brown. That's progress for Jordan Anderson. He had a whole bunch of nothing on Tuesday. Was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That's out #1 here in the 3rd inning. Back to the top of the order, and Sky Duff will get another chance working against Bree Johnston.
Jordan Anderson did make some pretty good plays in center field last game. So,
it's clear why he's trusted. He's a phenomenal defensive center fielder.
Ran about 300 feet to make a play last game I saw.
With a name like Sky Duff, don't you think he should be a center fielder? This doesn't seem like a third baseman's name.
What is a good third baseman's name?
Hank.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your name's Hank, you can pretty much play anywhere you want.
Johnston working quickly. Now he's got a lead. Some confidence. Ball and 2 strikes to Duff.
Back-to-back breaking balls.
Johnson's now retired 5 in a row. Since the 2-out double in the 1st inning by Ron Washington, Johnson's really settled in. Duff got tired of waiting. High chopper. Torres is going to have to hurry, and it clips off the top of his glove. It was going to be a tough chance for Torres. Let's see how they rule it. I'll give you an opportunity for the first judgment. Is that an error or is that a hit?
I'm going to say it's a hit, just because of the tough double bounce. You get that second bounce and it just takes off.
And it is indeed a hit. That bounce right there.
Yeah. It's almost like I hit a sprinkler head.
So Duff now 2 for 2 in the ball game. 1-out base runner for Pitt, down a pair. Nico Popa. Ball 1 to Popa. Checking in that little cheat sheet he has. I think he'd have it all figured out. Senior has played a whole bunch of baseball.
So I'm looking down at the third base coach to see if he's giving signs and whether that might be what they're looking at. Is instead of having to look down to the third base coach, you look to the dugout. They give you a number sequence, and that's what.
There goes the runner from first. Maybe a hit and run as Popa swung at a pitch by his eyeballs. And going into scoring position is Duff. He's got 2 stolen bases in the game. We told you he wasn't much of a threat to run as a leadoff guy, but he is tonight. He's got 2 stolen bases.
2 for 2 tonight, 2 for 4 on the whole season.
Was that an old school hit and run?
I think it was an attempted one.
Tough chance. Menchik can't make it. And now Duff's going to take an extra base.
Great base runner.
Duff's earning his scholarship on the base paths. Runners on at the corners for the Panthers with 1 out.
I don't think even if he fields that cleanly, he's going to throw him out. That's a tough play.
So that is also ruled a base hit. Now adversity for Reed Johnston. He'll have to bear down. Runners on at the corners. Just 1 out. And here comes the middle part of the order for the Pitt Panthers. The number 3 hitter, Kyle Hess, will grab a bat. And as long as Hess doesn't hit into a double play, Ron Washington will bat this inning. And Washington has been the hottest Pitt Panther hitter here in Charlotte this week. Ball 1 to Hess. There's Ron Washington. Hit a 2-run homer on Tuesday. Had an RBI double back in the first inning.
And Nico Popa will steal. On cue. Thank you very much. Pitt may look to get him in motion. Maybe another hit and run.
NC State clearly thinking there could be something up.
Safety squeeze is also another option here. The almost undefendable play.
With your number 3 hitter down by 2. Hey, just clearing something up. Interesting ruling. That last ball that Popa put in play to the third baseman Menchik, they scored an infield single, but then they give Menchik an error because he tried to take the ball out of his glove and it popped out, and that allowed Duff to go from second to third.
That's a tough error.
3-0 to Hess. All right, what's your thought process? If you're Johnston on the bump right now, are you afraid that he may swing at a 3-0 pitch?
I'm not afraid, but I'm certainly going to challenge him.
He misses a 4-pitch walk to the number 3 batter to load things up for the cleanup man, the red-hot Ron Washington. Oh boy, things getting interesting. First walk allowed by Johnston, and it comes at an inopportune time.
So this is where I talk about sometimes using the hitter's aggression against them. This is a massive spot for Pitt. Ron Washington Jr. is obviously wanting to drive in as many runs as he can. As a pitcher, my mindset was always, even if I fell behind, if I was 1-0, 2-0, if I throw my sinker down the middle and I get that ground ball, his aggression, seeing that fastball or what thinks he's a fastball, middle, 9 times out of 10 would pull over, hit a ground ball to shortstop and get a 6-4-3 double play.
Washington now with 29 runs batted in after that RBI double in the first inning. Panther base runners on at every base. And there's a quality strike, 93 miles per hour. 0-1 to Washington. Enormous power for the junior from Houston, Texas.
With one out here, I'd like to see him from the stretch instead of wind up. He's given all the base runners a lot of chance to get off base, winding up.
That was off the absolute top of the bat. It was an 80-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, and Washington was so far ahead of it, I really believe it hit the top of the bat.
See Washington smiling. Don't know how he did that. One and two. Hard. Knocked down by Menchik. Wins the race to the bag. Across the diamond. Not in time. A run scores for Pitt. Washington busting it down the line. Smelling an RBI. And the Panthers score a run.
Another great effort. Ball's hit very hard. Does a great job to throw off the opposite foot, get enough on there to even get it close. That's looks safe from up here.
Now they're going to look, make sure that the call at first base was a correct one. The call at first base was made that Ron Washington was safe. If it had been out, that would have been out number 3, and the run wouldn't have scored. So this is an important review. Oh, wow. Do you have enough? Is there enough to overturn it? Nope, there's not. So the call stands. The call stands. Ron Washington continues to be a fantastic RBI guy. He just wasn't going to be denied getting down that line. He has got 2 runs batted in. Both times up, he has driven in a run here through the first 3 innings for Pitt. All right, so David Yanni next in line, trying to keep the inning alive. 2 outs, runners on at first and at second. And Yanni swings and misses.
Why not? Get your hacks in, Yanni.
Winner of this game advances to the semifinals on Saturday and will take on Georgia Tech. Yanni looking for his first hit of the championship. He's 0 for 4, has reached on a walk. Struck out looking back in the first inning. Three straight pitches, all at the top of the strike zone or above it. Here to Yanni. 2-1. Two and two. Pitt scored the game's first run back in the first inning. They saw NC State roar back and score 3 times in the second. Hit with 1 here in the third and looking for more. 2-2 pitch.
We did get Yanni with a fastball inside last at bat. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to that. A couple of off-speed pitches in a row. Freeze him with a fastball inside.
Got him. You're a genius. Side is retired. Pitt does get a run back, though. We have played 3 here in Charlotte. It is a 3-2 ball game. NC State leads by a run. for their ACC Baseball Championship lives. Winner of this game moves on to the semifinal round and will be 2 wins away from winning the 2021 ACC Baseball Championship. 4th meeting of the year between NC State and Pitt. They met 3 times in Pittsburgh a week and a half ago, with NC State flexing their muscle and winning all 3 games. Wolfpack lead right now, but only by a run. 7, 8, and 9 in the Wolfpack lineup. Batting against Matt Gilbertson. This is Devontae Brown. This is where all the damage was created in the 2nd inning. 2nd inning, Gilbertson got the first 2 outs and then walked Brown, walked Menchik, and allowed a 2-run triple to JT Jarrett. Jarrett would eventually score on a wild pitch. So 3 consecutive men reaching with 2 outs in that 2nd inning, and all 3 would score.
Gilbertson's at 71 pitches already.
Devontae Brown from Noonan, Georgia. I believe that's
South.
Yeah. By the airport?
Just past the airport. Yeah.
9 homers on the year for the junior.
Will Smith, the closer for the Braves, actually from Noonan, Georgia as well.
Okay, all right.
So you're not just the only one with knowledge over there. Look at that.
Will Smith getting jiggy with it, right?
So outmatched with my knowledge of sports.
2 balls and 2 strikes. On the ground sharply. Franks throws out Brown. How are you with geography?
I'm not too bad, I don't think.
How about this one?
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Spelled Pittsburgh. Of all the Pittsburghs in the United States, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is the only one that spells Pittsburgh with an H at the end. All the other Pittsburghs say, you know, we don't need it. It's a waste of time. You got Pittsburgh, Texas. You got Pittsburgh, Kansas. The Gorillas play there. Pittsburgh, California. Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. But Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the only one with an H.
Wow.
Tell that to your friends down in Australia.
I'm going to win a
They'll
lot of
think
money.
You're brilliant.
I'm going to win a lot of money with that bet right there. Seems a little unnecessary now that I think about it. The H.
What's the point?
Yeah.
It's silent. Just an extra.
Unless you really want to throw a at the end of it.
Menchik bounces it foul, 3rd base side. Wojtek Menchik, sophomore from the Czech Republic. I'll tell you what, watching him defensively on that ball with the bases loaded a moment ago, I learned a lot about him. He may not have played baseball in the States, but he's got phenomenal instincts. That ball came to him. He knew exactly what to do. He looked fluid doing it. This kid is not a work in progress. He's a finished product. He looks really good as a baseball player for someone who grew up in the Czech Republic.
They are they're so easily taught, and they just want to learn. They want to get better. Everyone from the Czech Republic that I've ever had anything to do with has just
Called strike 3.
wants to be a sponge. Will take everything that you want to give to them and will use it and try to get better. It's just the best way I can explain it. They've got camps, they've got clinics, and you'll have 350 kids show up to a clinic in the Czech Republic, which is, it's hard to get kids to show up like that in the States, and especially in Australia.
2 down, bases clear. Here's JT Jarrett. Jarrett was a huge thorn in the side of Matt Gilbertson in that 2nd inning. His first career triple, and boy did it come at a perfect time. Drove in a pair with that 2-out triple. Eventually came around to score on a wild pitch.
I mentioned Gilbertson's pitch count earlier. He's thrown over 100 pitches 5 times this year, so he's well and truly within his pitch count right now. Looks to have found something this evening too. Looks a little bit sharper.
He struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced.
Sharper.
A lot better, thank you. Quality strike. 1 and 2. Pitt played a game back on Tuesday. Beat North Carolina 5-3. For NC State, this is their first game here in the baseball championship. Popped up. Will it be playable? Should be. Foul territory. Bryce Hewlett makes the catch side retired. That's now 7 in a row retired by Matt Gilbertson. 3-2 is our score. NC State on top of Pitt. Winner this one advances to the semifinals on Saturday. We already know 2 semifinalists. You got Georgia Tech. What a win for them. They took down Louisville. They came back down a run in the 12th inning to win in walk-off fashion. They win Pool B. Duke, a winner earlier today. They won on their last at-bat. They're going to take on the winner of Notre Dame and Virginia tomorrow. And Peter Moylan, talk to me about the balls flying out of this ballpark. 32 homers already through 8 games.
I'm used to seeing the ball fly out of this, but usually I'm on the mound, so it's nice to see somebody else giving them up. But we had 11 home runs on the first day, which was an ACC record, which I witnessed them all. It was flying out of here.
This is not a small ballpark.
It's not a small ballpark, but it's, you get the city lights. You think you're in a big league park. You get a little bit more excitement, a little bit more pop. Got some meaning behind the tournament.
Here's Bryce Hewlett. Flied out left field. Back in the 2nd inning. Will he do it again? Butler. 1 down. Hewlett paying Pepper with Johnny Butler out there in left. Do people know what Pepper is anymore?
Yeah. Put it on your... We used to play up until, even in these, we used to play, not the big leagues, but every other level of international competition or local competition back home in Australia. It's usually a product of not having a field to take BP on.
Okay.
So you just get out there and...
For you folks at home who don't know, Pepper is a game that you play with one batter and usually 3 or 4 guys, and you toss it to them and you hit it. Everyone's in close range and you just pepper the ball back and forth.
You heard of penalty pepper?
No, that's new to me.
Ooh. So the further down around the arc of the pepper fielders you get, the closer to batting you are. If you happen to misfield it, you got to go all the way back to the start of the line.
Ah, okay. Wash is going to try the third baseman, Menchik, across the diamond. What an arm. All right, boy, to Menchik.
That's knowing,
2 down.
That's knowing who's running, too. He felt like he had a lot of time. If there's a faster runner, he's probably going to come in and charge that, try and pick it up on the hop, but he knew he had time. Going back, strong arm, made a perfect throw, got him within a couple of steps.
Best third baseman from the Czech Republic in the history of the ACC. I have no doubt. 2 down, bases clear. Here's Brock Franks, sophomore shortstop. Swings at the first pitch and laces it down the left field line. Oh, this should be extra bases. Franks on his way down to second, and he'll get there without a throw. 2 out, double for Brock Franks. That snaps a streak of 4 consecutive retired by Reed Johnston.
We've seen Franks make some fantastic plays in the field. Now he's getting after the bat. Nice opposite field pop. Took exactly what the pitcher gave him. Sliced it down the left field line. There's been a lot of action down that left field line.
Yes. Here's the number 9 hitter, Jordan Anderson. Anderson flied out to right field to lead off the 3rd inning. Native of Madison, Alabama. Pitt has advanced to the semis once before. Hard down the left field line. It is foul.
See Johnson take a bit of a breath there.
2 balls and a strike to Anderson. Pitt's only appearance in the semifinal round, 2018. Lost in the semifinal round, so they have been there before. They've had that taste. And we've talked ad nauseum about how many veterans there are on this Pitt roster. So there are guys still playing that remember what it was like to get to the semifinals of the ACC Baseball Championship.
Now, as a hitter, you've seen Johnson miss with a couple of breaking balls in a row. You can almost eliminate that as a pitch. Sit straight fastball right here.
Good at bat there by Anderson. He is aboard for the first time here in this tournament. 2-out walk puts runners on at first and at second, and that is not what Mike Bell wants to see. Allow the 8 and 9 hitters in the order to reach base, and the lineup will change over again. Winner of this game advances to the semifinal round. They'll be crowned the champion of Pool C. They'll take on Georgia Tech in the second semifinal on Saturday. We already know that Georgia Tech and Duke in the semifinal round. Here's Sky Duff, 2 hits in his first 2 plate appearances. Not only that, but 2 stolen bases and 2 runs scored. What would you be thinking if you were on the mound in Reed Johnston's shoes with Duff batting, who's already got 2 hits against you?
I'm thinking I don't want to go 2-0 to him, that's for sure. I want to get him to swing at something. Perfect pitch, fastball inside, on the black. Got yourself back in the count now. Again, with the runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Effectively a base open. You don't have to attack him with stuff down the middle. You can certainly work the edges. Good off-speed pitch there.
Foul tips it at the plate, 1-2.
Unlike the previous at bat where he'd thrown 2 breaking balls that sort of just spun out of the back of his hand, Sky can't eliminate any pitches because he's seen 2 of them now, including a perfect breaking ball right there.
Texas swing went too far. Johnston strikes out Sky Duff, and the side is retired, and the threat is aborted. Good job by Johnston to strand a pair on at first and at second. 3-2. NC State leads Pitt. The first inning, 2-out double down the left field line. Ron Washington Jr. He has been a significant RBI man so far in this tournament for Pitt. Coming back, second inning, 2 outs, 2 on. J.T. Jarrett, a triple, the first in his college career that would plate a pair. Jarrett will come in to score on a wild pitch, making it 3-1. NC State on top of Pitt. Pitt trying to scratch back, and again, it's Ron Washington driving in a run. He's able to leg out the return throw to first base, and he gets himself an RBI. It is a 3-2 score. NC State leads Pitt as we play the 5th inning. First ball swinging. Going to be a tough chance. Wow, what a play by David Yanni to throw out Austin Murr.
Can't tell you how hard that play is. You're running basically full speed to try and cut it off. You get a short hop, you pick it up perfectly and make an amazing throw on the run, right basically on the nose.
Murr doesn't look like your standard issue second baseman. He's thick. But he's clearly nimble and can play the position well. Showing bunt. This is McDonough. Oh, what a beauty. I have no idea why Duff thought he could make a play. That was just a picture-perfect bunt by Tyler McDonough. Second hit for McDonough in the ball game.
I think the only chance you had there was to see if it was going to go foul.
Second base hit for McDonough.
NC State as a team has 4 hits. McDonough's got half of them.
Here's Butler. Batted over 400 during the season. Called strike 1 to Butler.
Crowd seem to enjoy that call.
Butler, first team All ACC. There goes McDonough. Oh, he bluffs and hooked back to first. McDonough 12 stolen bases on the year.
I would think that he's probably not going to go anywhere with Butler up to play. You want to let Butler see some pitches.
I like the fact that McDonough just wears his batting gloves when he's on the base pass. Doesn't have that big oven mitt that a lot of guys wear nowadays when they're running bases.
Yeah. It's out of necessity. The speed that guys are running with these days and the head first slides, jamming them into bases all the time. He's so old school.
Again, McDonough bluffs.
Don't get me wrong. I think all the padding that, I mean, eventually we're going to have a guy just rock up to the box in a full catcher's get up just to try and not get hit. I think that takes away from that element of fear.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on
that I used to use as a right-handed pitcher. You just wear it off the elbow guard.
1-2. We keep seeing shots of Gilbertson and the way that he grips the ball before he decides what pitch he's going to throw. What's the thought process here with that grip?
Well, it's a Vulcan changeup, so it's a tough pitch to get into your fingertips if you don't preset it. If you're trying to put it in your glove and you're trying to go to that pitch without telling the hitter what's coming, it's an extremely hard thing to do. They will see you digging into your glove at some stage, and it'll tell him exactly what's coming. If you preset it, you can come into your glove, and if you want to throw that pitch, you don't have to move it. If you want to, it's much easier to grip a fastball than what it would be to grab that Vulcan changeup that he's throwing.
So he's basically showing the hitter that he always has the grip ready to throw a changeup,
yep,
but then he can switch it when he brings it into his glove.
Correct. Whereas if he was holding fastball, the switch to a Vulcan changeup would be very...
Oh, that'll be the easiest double play of the season. A line drive by Butler, but right to the shortstop, Franks, who tags McDonough on the way through. So the double play ends the inning. That's the second double play hit into by NC State in this ball game. Three to two, halfway through this one. NC State leading the Pitt Panthers. Ron Washington has had a fantastic tournament, hitting in the middle of that order for the Pitt Panthers. 2-run home run back on Tuesday against North Carolina. And then tonight he has driven in both of the Panther runs. 2-out double back in the first inning, and an RBI ground out in the third inning. He was hoping for more. The bases were loaded when he hit that ball to the third baseman Menchie. Out was recorded at third, but not quickly enough getting the ball over to first to get Washington, who smelled an RBI. Washington will bat third here in our fifth inning.
There is no stopping those position players once they sniff out a base hit.
Nico Popa. 1 for 2 for Popa. Singled his last time up. Swings at the first pitch, hits it hard off the second baseman Jarrett's chest. Tons of time when you play two-back, and he throws out Popa. Jarrett saying exactly where the ball hit him. He's played so much baseball in his life. He, no fear, and probably didn't even feel it. Thought off his sternum. Kyle Hess, the batter. Ball strike 1 to Hess. Pitt came into this tournament the 10th seed in Pool C. That is the lowest seed in Pool C. NC State 3, North Carolina 6, and Pitt 10. When it's all said and done after pool play, the huge benefit of the doubt goes to the higher seeded team. Pitt being the 10 seed. If they had lost that game on Tuesday, they would have had to stick around Charlotte for a couple of days knowing that they had no chance of making it to the semis. Kind of kooky the way that this format is laid out. That's the way that it is. There's a strikeout. Johnston strikes out Hess.
Johnston's at 71 pitches now. Season high was 118 back in March against North Carolina. He's had 7 starts with 100+ pitches on the year, so he's still got plenty in the tank himself.
Here's Ron Washington, and NC State's going to get a chance to pitch him the way that they want to with no one on. Drove a run in with a double in the first inning, drove in a run with a ground out in the third. We do need to answer the question. Those of you out there are wondering, Ron Washington Jr., well, he must be the son of Ron Washington Sr., the longtime big leaguer who was the manager of the Texas Rangers. That's actually not the case. No relation, as Ron Washington Jr. is asked ad nauseum when he's in baseball circles if his father is the former manager of the Rangers, one of the great baseball men of his generation.
Still one of the hardest working coaches you'll ever find.
Highly respected as an infield coach before he was manager. Called strike 3. Great inning, Reed Johnston. He strikes out a pair, retires the side in order. 5 complete here in Charlotte. It's a 1-run lead for NC State. What? Yeah, Reed Johnston had a very easy bottom of the 5th inning. He retired Popa, Hess, and Washington. Ball never left the infield. Ground out to second, and then back-to-back strikeouts. Johnston has struck out 6 through 5 innings, and he is working with a 1-run lead. Matt Gilbertson has been equally effective. He's gone 5 innings. Defense behind him has been nice. A couple of double plays turned behind him. Gilbertson has struck out 3. He gave up all 3 of his runs with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. Just that one blip. Terrell Tatum leads things off. Tate was batted twice and accounted for 3 outs. Hit into a double play in the first and was robbed in the third. Nice defensive play by the first baseman, Bryce Hewlett. On the ground sharply, Yanni.
Both pitchers seem to have settled in. Gotten a bit of trouble 2nd and 3rd inning, but have really found a groove the last few innings.
Here's the shortstop, Torres. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to right field. Playable right in front of the warning track. Popa makes the catch.
Early action.
So 2 quick outs. And now Gilbertson is 1 out away from getting back into that dugout. Luca Tresh, the catcher. Ball 1. Took 3 pitches to get the first 2 outs of the inning. 13 years in the big leagues. Tons of time in the minor leagues, playing over in the Czech Republic, growing up in Australia.
Did you ever see a 3-pitch inning?
Plenty of them.
Really?
Yes.
Plenty?
Yeah. As you said, I've played in at all levels, so some of those levels didn't really take into account that a 3-pitch inning was not an ideal way to finish an inning. Immaculate innings, 3-pitch innings, I've seen pretty much all you can see.
Immaculate inning, 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Did you ever have an immaculate inning?
I actually, no. I came in, and I remember this. We're so strange pitchers. I feel like I remember every pitch I've ever thrown. But I came into a game in San Diego with runners on first and second, and I threw 10 strikes, including 1 foul ball, and got 3 strikeouts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. 1-2 pitch to Tresh. Is there a word for a 4 strikeout inning?
You can make one up.
Okay, you never had one of those. Those are ultra rare.
Ultra rare. Yeah.
You got to strike someone out and throw a wild pitch or have a passed ball and allow the batter to get to first, and then strike out another guy. Swung on and missed. How about that? Matt Gilbertson. Yeah, struck my man. Good work. A 1-2-3 inning. He's been really good with the exception of that second inning. He now has 4 strikeouts in the ball game. Still a 1-run game in Charlotte. One-run game. We've reached the bottom of the 6th inning here from Truist Field in Charlotte, North Carolina. Reed Johnston has been the truth. NC State's starter struck out 6 through the first 5 innings of work.
Yeah, you talk about, it looks like he's throwing 2 different breaking balls, where he's got a real feel for that breaking ball, throwing down and into left-handed hitters and down and away to right-handed hitters. Sneaks that fastball up. Really catching guys off guard when he throws that heater. He's done a great job so far tonight.
Johnson 6 wins on the year. 6-2 is his mark. 3rd team All-ACC. It's an important game for NC State. Even though it's the first game they've played here in this year's ACC Baseball Championship, they need to win it. They have no wiggle room. They need to win to advance to the semifinal round on Saturday. Tomorrow's game will be played no matter what. NC State and North Carolina. That'll be the night game. But that'll be just window dressing after what occurs today. Either NC State will know that they're just preparing to get to the semifinal round, or NC State will be licking their wounds knowing that they will have no opportunity to advance after tomorrow's game against the Tar Heels. David Yanni quickly down in the count, 0-2.
Very effective two-seamer there. I'm not going to call it a sinker. It's a two-seam, because rather than diving down as it comes towards the plate, it seems to be shooting up and away from these left-handed hitters. And when you couple that with his really short, sharp slider that he's throwing, it's going to be tough for a hitter to be able to make that decision on what it's going to be as it comes towards the plate.
2-2 to Yanni. Yanni, Hewlett, Wash to bat in the 6th inning. Down by 1.
Probably caught a little bit too much plate that he wanted to with that one. That was a attempted Greg Maddux front door sinker, front hip sinker. Remember those ones? He'd throw it at that front hip and got guys jumping out of the way. Ended up, I'm sure back then it might have been a strike, but
yeah, Maddux got a nice zone.
All those guys did.
Count remains 2-2. Yanni's 6th year with Pitt. You get 4 years of eligibility within a 5-year window. He played 1 year, just played a handful of games, then was injured and had to take a redshirt year. Played 3 complete seasons. Then last year was going to play his redshirt senior year, and COVID happened, and everyone around the world of college athletics got an extra year of eligibility. And he said, why not? Best 6 years of his life playing college baseball.
Now, excuse my lack of knowledge, but what does red shirt mean?
I'm not exactly sure the origin, but it just means that you have a year of eligibility that is not wasted.
Okay.
Called strike 3. That's now 3 straight strikeouts for Johnston, who may be getting better as this game moves along. He has now struck out 4 of the last 5.
Same pitch that he got him on in the first inning.
Wow, Yanni struck out 3 times. Yanni, 3rd team All-ACC. Absolutely no luck against Johnston. Hewlett starts with a quality strike. Lifted, center field. 2 down. McDonough makes the play. Hewlett is now flied out 3 times. Twice to left and 1 to center.
Good example of 2 different types of breaking balls that you've seen Johnson throwing. The first 2 pitches there were more of a get-me-over throw for a strike, and then you see him bury those ones in the dirt when you get the swings and misses over the top. Doesn't necessarily need to throw different pitches in order to have a different repertoire. And yes, I just said repertoire.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's big down in Australia.
It's huge.
Riley Wash, junior catcher, has bounced to 3rd and bounced to short. Johnston walked the number 9 batter, Jordan Anderson, in the 4th inning. And since that time, he has retired 6 in a row. And now he's got Wash set up. Ball and 2 strikes. What's the wipeout pitch for Johnston?
I would assume that he's probably going to go back to that slide a little bit further off the plate, but you've got options. He can also throw that 2-seam in. But again, they're going to look like the same pitch until about 10 feet from the plate.
Lifted, right field, hit well. Going back, Brown, still going back, makes the play on the warning track.
Got a rated one there.
Oh, Johnston got it going on. He's retired 7 in a row. NC State leads by a run. Remarkable in today's game. Had that blip in the 2nd inning where he just fell out of rhythm with 2 outs. He allowed 3 consecutive men to reach and eventually score. But ever since then, he has been lights out. He has made it through 6 innings. And look at the pitch counts. Wow. The 2nd inning, he threw 41 tosses to the plate. And since that time, I don't think he's thrown a combined 41. 11, 12, and 2 pitches, or 2 innings of 8.
He's going to look back at that 2nd inning with some frustration. He had the first two guys out fairly quickly and then let it get away from him a little bit. But all credit to him to be able to lock this thing down for the last few innings and give Pitt a chance to come back in this game.
So Johnston, his counterpart, has retired 7 in a row. Gilbertson has retired 4 in a row. Devontae Brown takes ball 1. Gilbertson has retired 12 of his last 13. He's faced the minimum in each of the last 4 innings. Remember, the 5th inning, he gave up a single to Tyler McDonough, but McDonough was erased on the double play. So since that 41-pitch, 3-run 2nd inning, Gilbertson had settled down to the nth degree.
We are seeing action in the bullpen now.
All right, 100 pitches in the ball game for Gilbertson.
That's a lucky number. He's got to get out now, doesn't he?
Why take him out? Man, he's still got it going on. 5th strikeout for Gilbertson. 1 down in the 7th inning.
Season high was 110 pitches back in March 13th at Georgia Tech. But you can't leave anything out there, so you may as well keep going until you've got nothing left. Especially the way he's throwing the ball.
Voida Menchik. Menchik is put himself out there. He is a math major at NC State. Not a lot of easy courses when you're a math major. I think this is totally unscientific, but there's a great chance that there's no one currently in Major League Baseball who played college baseball who took math as their major.
There's been a few Ivy League guys come through.
Math majors are different.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just 1 + 3 = 4.
One ball and 1 strike.
We're talking calculus and
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
Okay.
I know the names of the classes, but I don't know what's taught in those classes. 2 balls and a strike. Menchik walked and scored back in that 3-run second inning. That's been the difference in the ball game. A 3-batter window with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Gilbertson just lost it. He walked Brown, he walked Menchik, and then gave up a 2-run triple to Jarrett, and then threw a wild pitch to allow Jarrett to score. That's how NC State got all 3 of their runs. Whole bunch of nothing ever since. And it continues. Another strikeout for Gilbertson. That's 3 in a row.
There's that Vulcan changeup that I spoke about earlier that just looks like a fastball to the very last minute and just dives out of the zone. Not much you can do about that, especially when you're looking for a fastball. See how far in front he was.
You keep calling it a Vulcan changeup. How many different varieties of changeups are there out there that you can think of?
I guess everybody can name their changeup whatever they want, but
hard right to the 3rd baseman, Duff. Wow. JT Jarrett hit it right on the screws, but to the wrong man. All right, still alive. Stretch time here from Truist Field, Charlotte, North Carolina. This is day 3 of pool play. Day 4 tomorrow, the final day of pool play before the weekend has the semifinals and the championship game tomorrow at 11 o'clock in about 12 hours time. How about that? We'll have Virginia against the #1 seed Notre Dame, followed by Florida State, Miami, and then North Carolina, NC State. Really good rivalry games for our Friday action. And Peter Moylan, you and I will have all of it. 3 straight games. A test of endurance.
Cannot wait to sit next to you for 12 straight hours.
Just don't put ketchup on your hot dog, partner. Here's Brock Franks. Franks doubled his last time up. Last base hit allowed by Reed Johnston was Franks back in the 4th inning. Jarrett throws out Franks 1 down.
He's doing such a great job of pounding the strike zone. I mean, it's not like these Pitt guys are being overly aggressive. It's just he's filling up the strike zone and then he's forcing them to swing.
All right, here's Jordan Anderson. 3rd plate appearance. Showing bunt, takes outside. You have to wonder. Pitt's starter, Matt Gilbertson, has been just terrific ever since that troublesome 2nd inning. But considering there's still action in the bullpen for the Panthers, Gilbertson may be lifted.
Yeah, it may be a case where he will go out and start the inning and any base runner or any traffic at all, and they might bring somebody else in. But if I'm managing, which I will be this offseason.
Where? In Australia?
In Melbourne.
Awesome.
But if I'm managing, I do exactly that. I'll send him back out. The way he's rolling right now, uses emotion, uses adrenaline, gets in any trouble, then thanks for everything. We'll take it from here. But while he's cruising.
Anderson tardy on a 92-mile-an-hour heater. 8 strikeouts for Johnston.
Yeah, he just reared back and fired that straight past him.
9 in a row retired by Johnston. We've had a whole bunch of slugfests so far in this ACC Baseball Championship, but not tonight. This is just good old-fashioned pitching. Dominant pitching. Johnston's retired 9 in a row. Gilbertson has faced the minimum over the last 5 innings. Sky Duff. A lot of 2s next to his name. 2 hits, 2 steals, 2 runs.
Doesn't show any sign of slowing down either. Usually you can see the stuff start to get a little bit less crisp, but he's dotting as soon wherever he wants to.
I'm not a scout, but over the years, baseball scouts, they like certain styles of players for a reason. We're talking about Reed Johnston. This guy from Central Casting, if you're a scout, 6'3", 220 pounds. That's what a right-handed pitcher is supposed to look like. Yeah. And the theory is that type of body doesn't wear down as quickly as others.
Yep. That's the theory. But then again, you see someone like a Tim Lincecum or a Tim Hudson or these sorts of smaller body guys that can.
Marcus Stroman, who pitched in the ACC.
Marcus Stroman, yeah. These guys.
Got to keep it local, my man.
Exactly.
Into left field. This is going to be trouble for Butler. Oh, he made it. The Butler did it. Johnny Butler robs Sky Duff of what would have been extra bases. Reed Johnston says, thank you. Good job. Johnny Butler, first team All-ACC for a reason. This kid can play. Trip to the semifinals on the line. A well-played baseball game with fantastic starting pitching. Reed Johnston, Matt Gilbertson have both pitched through 7 innings, a combined 9 hits. Look at the strikeout numbers. 14 combined punch-outs for Johnston and Gilbertson, and both right-handers still in the game as we play the 8th.
Both seem to be getting stronger somehow.
Austin Muir. Murray gets up and going. This is his job. Leadoff man. Trying to get on base by a hook or crook. He has reached twice. Single in the first inning, reached on an error in the second. Was robbed in the 5th. Nice defensive play by David Yanni. 1-1 to Muir.
The crowd trying to get the NC State team fired up.
Pop-up should be playable for someone when it comes down. If it comes down, Franks makes the play. Winner of this advances to the semis. It would be Pitt's 2nd trip to the semis in the history of their program since joining the ACC. Georgia Tech lying in wait. Georgia Tech a winner in 12 innings earlier today on this field against Louisville. Just a phenomenal game. Maybe the game of this tournament. Here's Tyler McDonough, last base runner for either side. That was way back in the 5th inning. Laid down a 1-out bunt on the 3rd base line. He was promptly doubled off. Johnny Butler hitting into an inning-ending double play. Gilbertson 111 tosses. Keep going. 0-2. And look at, all of a sudden, with 2 strikes, Sky Duff running across the infield, and they will have a shift. They'll play 3 on the right side of the infield.
It seems like opposite what you're usually doing to me. As a hitter, your approach changes with 2 strikes. And the idea is to try and not get too aggressive and let the ball get deep and try and drive the other way. So it's unusual for me to see a third baseman jump over the other side with 2 strikes. Normally they're very pull happy early in the count.
I guess my guess would be with 2 strikes, the bunt is no longer an option. And they really believe that he's going to, or at least they really have numbers that show that he's going to pull the ball on the ground.
Or it may be the way that they're going to sequence the at-bat. There's a change-up there, so that normally you're going to pull that change-up on the ground. Maybe they go another change-up here to get him to pull the ball on the ground to the right side.
Wow, brilliant. A tip of the cap, Mike Bell playing chess. Pitt Panther head coach had his defense aligned perfectly. There are now 2 outs. 9 in a row retired by Gilbertson. Here's Johnny Butler. If you're Pitt, this is how you want to face him. 2 outs, space is empty. Butler began this game with that magic number next to his name, 406. His batting average during the regular season. Why is that number important to baseball fans? Ted Williams, last man to hit 400 in the big leagues, hit 406 back in 1941.
I think it's pretty safe to say we won't see that again. Unless there's a massive shift in the mindset of hitters. But average just doesn't seem to be at the top of the list anymore.
Baseball's really the only sport, at least here in America. I can't speak for your Australian rules football. But baseball is the only sport where you can give a reference of something that happened 80 years ago and it's still relatively common. People have heard of Ted Williams. They probably know that he hit 400. Maybe not many people know he did it in 1941, but one of those generational things that we talk about. Baseball has it. Yeah. Nostalgia. 1-2. Called strike 3. Matt Gilbertson, how do you do? Fantastic work. 8 innings of brilliant baseball. Yeah, pat yourself on the back. 1-run game, bottom of the 8th. All of our scoring coming in the first 3 innings of this one. Ever since that 3rd inning, zeros put on the board by Reed Johnston and Matt Gilbertson. Starting pitchers have been phenomenal here on a Thursday evening in Charlotte, North Carolina. Both starters still in the game as we play the bottom of the 8th inning. Reed Johnston. Right now, things going his way. His NC State Wolfpack team leads by 1 here in the 8th. Winner advances to the semifinal round. A lot at stake.
2, 3, 4, the lineup coming up. This is a big inning for Johnson.
Johnson's retired 10 in a row. First pitch, fastball, strike 1. He's still got the good stuff, 91 miles per hour. How about that? 2 generations of Popa wearing that Pitt Panther uniform. Alan Papa, the dad. Nico and Dom on this year's club. Johnston has struck out 8. Johnston has struck out 9. Throw to first. Polpa is retired.
I mean, this has been impressive. There's no other way to word it. He seems to be in complete control. Getting ahead with the fastball. Not throwing anything really that they can even offer at, but close enough to be a strike. Just hitting black after black and bouncing sliders.
Carl Hess starts with strike 1.
Tempo is great. He's in a rhythm right now.
Filling up that strike zone.
He's throwing back-to-back sliders here. Look for a fastball up in the zone.
And now Mike Bell.
Is this the timeout that they can have?
Oh, all right. So making Reed Johnston think about it.
This is just going to increase the chances that we see a fastball here, and it might be the fastest pitch of the night. That would frustrate me as a pitcher.
All right. No balls, 2 strikes. Johnston. Yep, 93 miles per hour, trying to get a little something extra.
Go back to it. Why not?
Got him. Wow. 92 miles per hour with the heater. Back-to-back strikeouts for Johnston in the 8th.
That was set up perfectly by the first 2 pitches for backdoor sliders for strikes, and then just came with 2 heaters. Couldn't pull the trigger. Clearly looking for something else.
Johnston struck out 3 of the last 4 men he's faced. Last Panther to reach base was Jordan Anderson, who walked with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Whole bunch of nothing ever since. Here's Ron Washington as both runs batted in for the Panthers in tonight's ball game.
Big swing.
Panthers have scored 7 runs so far in this year's tournament. 5 of those runs have been driven in by that man.
He's just doing such a good job keeping his guys off balance. Every time it seems to be a slider count, he's going with a fastball. Every time it's a fastball count, he's throwing something off speed. They haven't been able to really put a good swing on it since the 2nd or 3rd inning.
Now, just in case, there's Justice in the building. Evan Justice getting loose in the bullpen for NC State. Cue shot. Second baseman Jarrett surrounds it, throws out Washington. The beat continues for Reed Johnston. The big fella dealing. He's got it working through 8. The 9th is next here in Uptown. It's been a fun pitcher's duel for the Pitt Panthers. Matt Gilbertson, not only has he pitched well, but he's pitched with energy. He's pitched with joy. Struck out Truist to end the 6th inning, and just a moment ago he strikes out Butler to end the 8th inning, and he let everyone in the building know about it.
Might have been the pitch of the night for me. Front door, 2-seam fastball. Doesn't come with a ton of velocity, but he's really shown an ability to pitch. He's kept the guys off balance all night, mixing his changeup, mixing his slider. That front door 2-seam could be a real pitch.
Well, for those of you out there who are old enough to remember, or just people who want to know what it was like, back in the early 80s, folks, this is what college baseball looked like. Pitchers would have a long leash, and they would just throw until the game was decided. We have both starting pitchers who have already thrown at least 110 pitches. And we've made it to the 9th inning. They're both still in the game. With something on the line, trust your horse. I like it. Gilbertson facing Terrell Tatum, 0 for 3. It'll be Tatum, Torres, and Tresh, the 3 T's. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tatum. NC State with a slim 1-run lead. The winner advances to the semifinal round.
Like we talked about a couple of innings ago, I think if we see a base runner here, unfortunately Gilbertson's night might be over, but there's one way to avoid that. Don't let a base runner get on.
Well, he hasn't for a while.
And he's not trying to now, you can see.
Last base runner for NC State was way back in the 2nd inning. Three and 1.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got the take sign here.
I misspoke. I said the last base runner for NC State was in the 2nd. Last base runner was in the 5th inning, but McDonough was erased on the double play. Gilbertson has faced the minimum since the 2nd inning. Quality strike.
Did take.
3 and 2.
He's going to throw that split again. I think he's going to throw that split right here. For the Vulcan. Challenged him. Went fastball up. Last thing you want to do right here is lead the walk-off guy. Lead the walk-off guy. Walk the lead-off guy. What time is it again?
3-2. Good job by Tatum to fight.
It's his 125th pitch of the night. It's been a long time since I've seen those numbers in the pitch count.
Pops him up. Will it be playable? Duff gives it a look. And it's well out of play. First time in some while that Gilbertson has had a hard time putting away a Wolfpack hitter. He has struck out 7 through 8 innings. He's limited the Wolfpack, who came into this game hitting .292, to just 4 base hits. One of those hits, a bunt single. Got him! He strikes out Tatum, who is so frustrated with himself. 8 punch-outs for Gilbertson.
That's the Vulcan there, guys. We talked about the amount of different change-ups you can throw, but he's got a good one working tonight. Left it up in the zone, but when you're looking fastball, it doesn't really matter at that stage. He swung through it.
11 in a row retired by Gilbertson. Jose Torres 0 for 3. A bounce out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Gilbertson didn't strike out his first man until there was 1 out in the 3rd inning. Since that time, he struck out 8. He struck out 8 of the last 18 he's faced. That's good.
And faced the minimum.
All right, he has got Torres set up. What's his wipeout pitch?
For me, he's going to go fastball. Fastball up.
Got him! Another strikeout, the 3rd in a row for Gilbertson.
He's got control of that two-seam as well as anyone right now. Just caught the back. Look at that pitch. Couldn't throw it any better.
So Gilbertson needs 1 more out, and then he needs his offense to go to the rescue. NC State leads by a run, 3-2, 9th inning action. Tresh takes called strike 1.
That's what I'm saying. Just doing such a good job keeping these guys off balance.
chased 0-2. Now thinking about the Pitt ninth inning. They're going to be down at least 1 run. Yanni, Hewlett, and Wash scheduled to bat, more than likely against the starter Reed Johnston. Good God! Matt Gilbertson strikes out the side. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. In the 9th inning, he strikes out the side. A man among boys.
Look at him firing up the crew.
A career-high 10 strikeouts for Matt Gilbertson. He has done his part. Will the Pitt Panther offense do theirs? We shall see. Was electric. 8 innings of magnificent baseball. Gave up a run in the first inning, gave up a single run in the third, but then zeros the rest of the way through. He retires 13 in a row. But Peter Moreland, he's now out of the ball game.
He's now out of the ball game. I'm a little surprised by this, but these guys know their team better than I do. So bring in your closer. 7 saves on the year. Real funky delivery.
Opponents hit just .213 on Evan Justice. Justice being asked to get 3 more outs and advance NC State into the semifinal round and a Saturday date with Georgia Tech. David Yanni, 6-year Pitt Panther, leads things off. It'll be Yanni, Hewlett, and Wash. 95 miles per hour, but wide of the mark. Ball 1.
2 lefties and a righty coming up. Maybe that factored into the decision.
Hard but foul. How did Yanni get ahead of that 95 mile an hour pitch?
Especially with that little pause in the delivery. That's got to really frustrate some hitters with their timing. Remember Clayton Richards? Kind of got that Clayton Richard pause about him.
Two and 1. Both of Pitt's runs coming with 2 outs. 2-out double by Washington in the first, and a 2-out run scoring in the third. It has been 3-2 ever since that 3rd inning. And Justice needs to find a strike here. Three and 2.
Giannis looks like he was taken all the way there. You know he doesn't want to strike out for the 4th time, so he might be a little bit aggressive here. Use it against him.
Misses inside, and Yanni is aboard. That snaps a string of 13 consecutive Panther hitters retired.
Crowd and NC State bench not very happy with that last call, I don't think.
Here's Hewlett. Did the Panthers think small ball? Hewlett shows bunt. Pulls it back. Oh, the Butcher Boy tried to sneak attack. 0-1.
You see the third baseman did a great job there, not overcommitting to the charge. Broke in a little bit, couple of steps, saw him pull it back, and was able to stay back and field his position.
Hewlett's flying out 3 times. Pops it up. Foul territory. And it harmlessly fouls.
That's an effort. Wow. Great effort. Luca Tresh sprinting over, laying out as close as you could possibly get. Great effort.
Oh, 2. No chance that Hewlett's going to bunt now.
I wouldn't say that.
Interesting.
I would not say that.
Interesting. Lefty on lefty matchup. Runner on at first base is Yanni. Called strike 3. Great job by Justice. After giving up the leadoff walk to Yanni on 3 pitches, he strikes out Hewlett.
Yeah, the reason I say that, we talked about it before. The worst thing you can do right there is hit into a double play. So maybe you're better off trying to lay one down with 2 strikes. They avoid the double play. If you get it down, you move into scoring position. Great.
We are going to have a pinch hitter here. So Riley Wash is pulled back. Matt Tarabek, senior, will come on. So the senior Tarabek going to get an opportunity. Remember, the winner of this game goes to the semifinal round. If magic happens with one swing of the bat by Tarabek, it's Pitt going to the semis on Saturday.
Tarabek hasn't seen a lot of action this year. Just 22 at bats, but
stranger things have happened.
It sure has.
And that's a tough proposition.
That's really nice.
Sit all game long and then try and get a good hack in against Evan Justice, who's throwing 95 with a wrinkle.
It's just the epitome of a bench player these days. Both games were walk-offs earlier in the day.
2-1. Pitt led 1-0 back in the first inning, gave up 3 to NC State in the third, got one back, and then has been playing from behind for the last 6 innings. Justice, another quality strike.
95 miles an hour. Herky jerky. Could you imagine trying to hit off that?
No.
Looks locked in too. You can tell when a guy's nervous. He wants it.
On the ground, could be 2. They get the out at second on the first, not in time. Wow, kind of a reckless double play attempt. That was almost a misplay on the throw to second, then almost a misplay on the throw to first.
They're going to try and appeal this at second base, I think. Why not? Just at least have a look at it, make sure they got the out. As the pitcher there, you got to just set your feet a little bit more and make a better throw, but they might have had a chance had it been a good throw to second.
All right, all eyes now at second base. Yanni clearly wasn't tagged. Did the second baseman, Jarrett, remain on the bag? This is one of those things that, you know, it's so kooky. For so many years, everyone just talked about the neighborhood play, and you never really even need to touch the bag.
Right.
But now all of a sudden, it's like the utmost importance that you touch the bag. And this would have been an afterthought for so many years.
I actually prefer this rule, if I'm honest, because it just allowed for so much room for error.
Oh, goodness.
He's on there.
He's on there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the call on the field was he was on there, and the out is recorded. So you need clear and conclusive to overturn it.
It was up to the umpire's discretion all the time. So you could literally have a guy within 3 feet, and that one umpire says that's okay. Then very next week, the umpire could say, well, no, hold on, you weren't close enough. So the fact that they have to actually touch the base now, it's a clear-cut rule. You don't have to worry about the... I mean, umpires have enough to worry about.
Call is confirmed. JT Jarrett stayed on the bag. Or at least he was on the bag at some point. Man,
You saw that definitively. I still never saw it definitively, but I'm okay with the call. The throw beat the runner, no doubt about it. There are now 2 outs. Yanni is replaced by Terabek on at first. And now a pinch runner for Terabek. It's going to be Dom Popar. So Popar represents the potential tying run. Brock Franks, the shortstop. Called strike 1. Unless Franks does something here, Pittsburgh's tournament run is over. And he's down to his last strike.
That's unfair. Lefty, lefty.
Huge NC State Wolfpack crowd in the building.
You could throw this within 6 feet of the plate and you might get a swing here.
Got him! Ball game! NC State is off to the semis. Wow! What pitching by the Wolfpack.
What an outstanding game. Such an old school feel of a game. Both pitchers, 8 innings, starters. You don't see that anymore. Timely hitting, a couple of bad innings, and that's all she wrote.
Reed Johnston was unbelievable. And Evan Justice had a tough act to follow, and he did himself justice. He picks up his 8th save of the season, and he pushes the NC State Wolfpack into the semifinal round. So 3 of the 4 semifinal teams have been established. You got Duke, you got Georgia Tech, and now you've got NC State in what has been a thrilling day of ACC tournament baseball here in Charlotte. All right, we have more coming your way. Tomorrow, 3 games starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. Virginia going to take on the #1 seed, Notre Dame. The winner of that game will be the winner of Pool A, and will move on to the semifinal round and take on Duke. Then we've got a rivalry game, Florida State and Miami, followed by another rivalry game, North Carolina and NC State. Because NC State won right now, every tiebreaker goes their way. They are guaranteed of moving on to the semifinal round. What a phenomenal day. Thursday will be a day that will be remembered for a while here in the ACC. A walk-off win by Duke in our first game. An extra inning thriller that went into 12 frames before it was finally won by Georgia Tech in our middle game. And then just moments ago, a game that featured pitching, and then even more pitching. A 3-2 win for the NC State Wolfpack, and they continue to roll here late in the season. Man, sure was a lot of fun. All right, we'll take a little bit of a timeout. We'll be back coming your way in a couple hours' time. For my partner, Peter Moylan, I am Eric Collins saying so long, everybody, from Charlotte.